Did you know that a man who couldn't read created an entire language and saved his people from oblivion? Before there were books, before there were written words, there was a people with stories, with wisdom, but with no way to keep them. That people were the Cherokee, and the man who would change everything didn't even know how to read. His name, Sequoyah. He was born around the year 1770 in the deep lands of what is now the southeastern United States, probably in Tennessee. In a world where his people lived connected to nature but disconnected from paper, there were no Cherokee books or letters. There was no written history. Everything lived only in memory. From the time he was a child, Sequoyah was not like the others. He didn't stand out as a warrior. He didn't stand out as a leader, but he observed. He always observed. One day, something caught his attention. He saw white settlers looking at sheets of paper, making marks, and then talking to each other. As if those marks spoke, he called them talking leaves. And at that moment, something changed inside him, because he understood something that no one else saw. Power was not in weapons, it was in words. But there was a huge problem. Sequoyah didn't know how to read. He had never learned. And yet, he decided to do something impossible. Create a system so that his people could write. Others thought he was crazy. Literally, some avoided him. Others mocked him. Even within his own tribe, they said he was wasting his time. But Sequoyah didn't stop. For years, he tried one idea after another. First, he tried symbols for whole words, too complicated. Then he simplified until he reached something revolutionary. Symbols for sounds. A completely new system. A system no one taught him. A system he built himself from scratch. It took him more than a decade. More than 10 years of trial and error. More than 10 years of being rejected and ignored. Until one day, everything changed. To prove his system worked, he taught his daughter, Cow. She learned. And then she began to read. In front of the leaders of the tribe, Sequoyah did something incredible. They dictated words and his daughter wrote them down. Then someone else read what was written, and the words came back exactly the same. Silence, astonishment, incredulity. What had once seemed like madness became a revelation. In 1821, Sequoyah finished his creation, a complete writing system for the Cherokee language. In just a few years, something impressive happened. Thousands of Cherokee learned to read and write. In less than a generation, their literacy rate became nearly 100%. And then, something even more powerful occurred. In 1828, the Cherokee Phoenix newspaper was born, the first indigenous newspaper in all of America, printed in both English and Cherokee. For the first time in history, a people who had never had writing could now tell their own story. They could inform, educate, and resist. And the most incredible thing is that all of this was possible thanks to a man who never learned English, but taught his people to be eternal. But the real challenge had not yet arrived. In the 1830s, everything changed. They were forced to leave their lands and walk into the unknown in a process known today as the Trail of Tears. It was a hard path, long, silent. Thousands failed to complete that journey. But in the midst of all that, there was something that survived, something that could not be taken away, something that could not be destroyed, their words. Thanks to Sequoyah, the Cherokee could write. They could record their history. They could communicate at a distance. They could keep their identity alive. While everything changed, their language remained. Today, centuries later, Cherokee texts still exist. Their language is still taught. There are still signs, books, and schools that use his system. And all of that exists for one reason: a man who refused to accept silence. Sequoyah didn't just create a writing system. He created a way to resist oblivion. You don't need a perfect education or permission to change the destiny of a people. You only need to see what others don't see and have the determination to build it. Never forget the power you have as an ordinary person. Create, invent, research, and always look for solutions where you find problems or adversity. And if you want to know more stories like this one, of ordinary people who reinvented human history, subscribe to this channel.